Hello, I'm Miss Trudy Dernan, and I'm the junior counselor here at Live Oak High School. And since you are going to be juniors, I'm here to help you with your scheduling for next year. Let me just tell you about what we're going to do today. First of all, I have a very important PowerPoint that you need to pay attention to because it's got a lot of important information in it. Then we'll do some tentative scheduling. We'll work on your IGP, and then I'll talk about online scheduling with you. So let's get started. The first thing I want to talk to you about are the diploma tracks. When you entered into the ninth grade, there were two diploma tracks, the TOPS University and the Jumpstart. TOPS University is more strenuous, it's more rigorous. It's college prep for four-year college or university if that's where you're planning to go. The other one is the Jumpstart. It's not as strenuous, not as rigorous. It's more geared toward the world of work. You can go here if you have this diploma. You can go to a community college, technical college, and even the armed services. But the most important thing I want you to understand is that both of these are high school diplomas. Let me just tell you a little bit of the difference in the two. TOPS University Diploma Track, you have to have 4 Englishes, and they have to be English 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have to have 4 maths. They have to be Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and either Advanced Math or Algebra 3 or Calculus, a higher level math. You have to have 4 sciences. You have to have 4 social studies. You have to have 1.5 PEs and a half of health. You have to have 2 foreign languages, 1 art credit, and 3 electives. That's a total of 24 credits to graduate. If you successfully complete those 24 credits and you have a decent GPA and a decent ACT score, you can go to any four-year university that you want to go to. Now, at the end of your 10th grade year, beginning of your 11th grade year, we reevaluate. If you're doing fine, you're going to stay right there in the TOPS University Diploma Track. But if you're struggling, our most important goal is to get you to graduate from high school. The Jumpstart pathway, you still have to have 4 Englishes, but instead of English 3 and 4, you can do business English and technical writing. You still have to have 4 maths, but instead of those higher level maths, you can have financial math, business math, and sometimes math essentials. You only have to have 2 sciences instead of 4. One of them has to be biology and then another one. You only have to have 2 social studies, and they have to be civics and U.S. history. You still have to have your 1.5 PEs and a half of health, but you don't have to take the foreign languages. What you do have to do is have a Jumpstart pathway. It's something that you're interested in because you have to get 9 Jumpstart classes in your pathway before you graduate from high school. And you also have to have 1 credential. This is an industry-based certification. Like, for example, if you're in ProStart, you get customer service certification. If you're in welding, you get welding certification. These are credentials that when you take out of high school to get a job, if you have 3 credentials and the other person only has 1, then you have a better chance of getting that job. Now, you can get credentials whether you're in TOPS or in Jumpstart. The most important thing I want you to know again is that these both are high school diplomas. We have several pathways here at Live Oak. We have, if you're interested in automotive, we have the transportation, distribution, and logistics. If you're interested in the welding, electrical, and carpentry and drafting classes, then you will go into architecture and construction. If you're interested in the medical field, whether it's phlebotomy tech, CNA, patient care tech, EMR, EMT, you would go into the health science path. If you're interested in the ProStart classes or the restaurant business, you may want to go into the hospitality and tourism pathway. If you're interested in criminal justice or law or being a policeman, you may want to go into law, public safety, corrections, and security. If you're interested in getting Adobe certification and media arts certification, you would go into the arts, AV technology, and communications pathway. And last but not least, we have business management, where you can get your customer service, Microsoft Office, and Adobe certification. So these are your Jumpstart pathways that you're interested in that you can choose from if you go to Jumpstart. In addition to earning those 24 units to graduate, you must take and pass all of these LEAP 2025 tests in order to graduate from high school. English 1 and 2, Algebra 1 and Geometry, Biology, and U.S. History. Those of you that are planning on going to college, you can't just go to college. There's some things that you need to do throughout your high school to prepare for that. And the Louisiana Board of Regents came up with some minimum admission standards for first-time freshmen that they think you have to have in order to be successful in college. First of all, they want you to take the Regents Core 19 core units that are required for TOPS. That's your 4 Englishes, 4 Maths, 4 Sciences, 4 Social Studies, your 2 foreign languages, and your art. They also want you to have a minimum overall GPA of a 2.0. And they want you to have one of the following. Now, there are different types of colleges and universities in Louisiana. There's a flagship university, a statewide universities, and regional universities. Now, the only flagship school we have in Louisiana is LSU, and they feel like if you are going to be successful at LSU, you need to have at least a GPA, a core unit GPA of a 3.0, or an ACT composite of a 25 or higher. Our statewide colleges are Louisiana Tech, University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and University of New Orleans. These colleges think that in order to be successful, you should have at least a 2.5 core unit GPA or a 23 on the ACT. The most colleges we have in Louisiana are regional colleges. That's Grambling, LSU Alexandria, LSU Shreveport, McNeese, Nichols, Northwestern State University, Southeastern Louisiana University, Southern University in Baton Rouge, Southern University of New Orleans, and University of Louisiana at Monroe. If you attend these colleges, they think in order to be successful, you have to have a core unit GPA of a 2.0 or higher and an ACT composite of a 21 or higher, or an ACT. Now, let me just tell you that these universities have the right to increase their standards if they want to. And each individual college does, so you need to go on their website and see what their admission standards are. But I can tell you right now, Southeastern has gone up to a 21 on the ACT. And the last thing they want you to have is they want you to not have to take developmental courses. Now, what are developmental courses? Developmental courses are classes that you take, you pay for, you take them, but you don't get credit for them. So you don't want to do that. So I'm going to tell you how to avoid having to do that. How many of you have taken the ACT? If you haven't, it's okay. You're only in the 10th grade. But I do recommend that you start taking it the end of your 10th grade, definitely your 11th grade and 12th grade years. Because the reason that you don't have to take developmental courses is if you take the ACT and you score an 18 in English and a 19 in math on the ACT. If you score those, you do not have to take developmental courses. So your big thing when you're looking at your ACT score, you're going to look at the composite, that's your overall average, but you also want to look at your English score and your math score because you want to have at least an 18 in English and a 19 in math so that you don't have to take developmental courses. And that's what you need to work for between now and your senior year so that you can be successful in college. The next thing I want to talk to you about is TOPS, the TOPS Scholarship. Tuition Opportunity Program for Students. Now it's called Taylor Opportunity Program for Students because Mr. Taylor came up with it. The whole purpose of TOPS is to keep our Louisiana kids in our Louisiana schools. So they want to give you money, and it has nothing to do with your financial status. First of all, they want you to take those 19 core units that are required for TOPS. You have to have an ACT score of at least a 20 or higher, and you have to have a core unit GPA of a 2.5 or higher. Now, there are 3 levels of the TOPS scholarship. The first one is the TOPS Opportunity Award. In order to get that, you have to have the 19 core units, you have to have a 20 or higher on the ACT, and you have to have a core unit GPA of a 2.5 or higher. If you have that, you can get the TOPS Opportunity Award, which pays the average tuition to a Louisiana school. It has to be Louisiana because that's the purpose to keep you here. The next level of TOPS is the TOPS Performance Award. In order to get that, you have to have the 19 core units, you have to have a 23 or higher on the ACT, and you have to have a 3.25 or higher core unit GPA. If you get that, you get the TOPS Performance Award, which pays the average tuition to a Louisiana school, plus it gives you a $400 stipend, $200 a semester to spend on books and supplies. The highest TOPS award is the TOPS Honors Award. In order to get this, you have to take the 19 core units, you have to have a 27 or higher on your ACT, and you have to have a 3.5 or higher core unit GPA. If you do this, you can get the TOPS Honors Award, which is the average tuition to a Louisiana school, plus a stipend of $800, $400 a semester to spend on books, supplies, whatever you need. This year, ACT is going to make a big change, and students before you have not had this opportunity because it just came into effect. It was supposed to start in September, but it didn't because of COVID. Then we thought it was going to be February, but they hadn't started it yet, but they will start it this year. Starting this year, high schoolers won't need to repeat the entire ACT exam to improve their score. The test has 5 subsections: reading, math, science, English, and then a writing portion that is optional. These are graded on a scale of 1 to 36, and currently the scores on the 4 required sections are averaged into a composite score. But the students' highest composite scores may not necessarily reflect their highest subscores because they may have done worse on an individual section. So ACT has decided that they will let you take the super score, which means you can take only the section that you did poorly on if you choose to. You have to take the whole test one time, or at least the four subsections. You have to take those at least one time. And then when you get your scores, if you did poorly in math, you only have to take the math section over again to increase your composite. Or if you did poorly in English, you only have to have the English portion so that you can do better to increase your score. So that's a great opportunity for y'all that we haven't had in the previous years. And like I said, I think it'll start before this year is over. I also want to tell you about the TOPS Tech Award. If you're in Jumpstart, this is an award that you could get to go to a community college or technical college. It's only a 2-year award because technical colleges and community colleges only go 2 years. In order to get this, you have to have the 21 Jumpstart Career Path core units. You have to have at least a 2.5 core unit GPA, and you have to have an ACT of a 17 or higher, or you have to have a silver or higher on the Work Keys test. And you'll learn more about the Work Keys test your junior and senior year. Another opportunity you have here at Live Oak is to earn post-secondary credits. We have 3 ways to do that. We have advanced placement, we have dual enrollment, and we have Clep Tests. The first one I want to talk about are the advanced placement classes, or AP. These are classes to earn high school and college credit. Now, a lot of you probably are in AP classes right now. So you know that they're more higher level. Their college prep is what they are. We have several that we offer here at Live Oak. They work at a faster pace. And what you do is you enroll in these classes and you have to pay a fee. And what you're paying that fee for is the AP exam that you take at the end of the year. If you score a 3, 4, or 5 on that exam, then you can get college credit and take it with you to college, and you got it right here in high school. We had a student one time that had 36 hours of college credit, and they're getting more every year. And she went to LSU as a sophomore. So she skipped her whole freshman year because she took the AP classes in high school. It's a wonderful opportunity. College Board says anybody can take AP classes as long as they're willing to work hard and do what's expected of them. Now, on the downside of AP classes, let me just be honest with you. If you are not willing to work hard, to do extra work, homework, you may not want to take AP classes because those teachers are not going to come down to that level where you don't care and don't try. They're going to bring you up to the college level so that you can be prepared to go to college and be successful. So take advantage of it if you're willing to do it because it's a good opportunity. Another way to earn post-secondary credit is dual enrollment classes. These are classes that are taught on our campus in partnership with Southeastern and North Shore Technical Community College. They're usually done as a junior or a senior. Now, the only classes we have that go to for Southeastern College credit dual enrollment are Advanced Math Excel dual enrollment, Algebra 3 dual enrollment, and we'd like to offer Business Calculus dual enrollment if we have enough interest in it. These classes, you will get college credit at Southeastern if you pass the class. And you say, Miss Trudy, I'm not going to Southeastern. That's okay. You go to Southeastern, you can go to Southeastern and request a transcript, and you can take that college credit to whatever college that you go to. Now, the other dual enrollment classes go through North Shore Technical Community College. These are classes that you can take here and you get credit in that North Shore Technical Community College. But you say, Miss Trudy, I'm not going to North Shore. You don't have to, but you can request a transcript again, and you can take those courses to any technical college or community college that you want to go to. We also have dual enrollment classes at the Literacy Technology Center in Livingston. They're doing it a little bit different next year. The only one they're going to have at the Literacy and Technology Center is automotive technology. If you want to do the other ones like criminal justice and medical assistant and those, they're going to disperse those throughout schools in the parish. So if you are going to do that, you want to take those classes. You, instead of leaving and going to the technology center, you will leave to go to the school that offers the class that you need for your pathway. There are some qualifications for dual enrollment. For the college classes, you have to have an ACT composite score of a 19, plus you have to have a math subscore of a 19. For the North Shore Technical Community College classes, you have to have a math subscore on the pre-ACT of a 15 and an English subscore of a 15 and a composite score of a 15. So there are some qualifications, but if you have the dual enrollment on your transcript, it looks good, you're recognized at graduation. So if you have the opportunity to get your dual enrollment, but you have to register, you have to make sure you meet the qualifications, then that you'll be recognized at graduation. The third type of way we can get post-secondary credit is the Clep Test, the college level examination program. This helps you receive college credit for what you already know for a fraction of the cost of a college course. These are courses that you just take throughout the year. They're not the AP or honors classes. They're just the regular classes. And at the end, we're going to offer you the Clep Test. If you score high enough on that Clep Test, then again, you won't have to take that class when you go to college. You can just take your credit with you. All right, that's the end of my PowerPoint for that. Now I want you to look at your transcript. Everybody has their transcript, and I want you to look at it and let me talk about it a little bit because this is very important. I talked about it last year in scheduling, and I want to tell you a little bit more about it this year. First of all, on your transcript, it's a legal document, so make sure your name and your birth date is correct. Also, I want you to look, these are all the classes that you have taken in high school, whether you took them here or at Denham or at Walker or in Texas or California, it should be on here if you took a class. These are the grades you made in those classes, and these are the credits that you've earned in those classes. Now, I'm assuming you all want to be juniors next year. Well, in order to be a junior, you have to have at least 11 credits. So I want you to go down to the bottom of your transcript where it says total units earned. Look at that number, and if you're going to pass everything this semester, you're going to add 3.5 credits to it because that's how many you're going to get if you pass everything. If you don't have 11 credits or more, most of you will have more. If you don't have that, then we need to talk. But you need to have at least 11 credits to be classified as a junior. The next thing I want you to look at down here is your cumulative GPA. If you look at your cumulative GPA, this is what we use to determine who's an honor graduate when you get to be a senior. If you have a 3.5 or higher GPA, cumulative GPA, then you're considered an honor graduate. So you get recognized at graduation, you sit up in the front of the whole class, they call your name out and everything. So you look at your GPA now and see what you need to get at least a 3.5 or higher so that you can be an honor graduate. And the last thing I want you to look on your transcript is over here. We put your highest ACT score on your transcript. Now let's look at this student, for example. This student made a composite of a 20 on the ACT. So this student can get into college with a 20. Most colleges into with a 20. Look at her English score. She has a 23, or he has a 23. Is that okay to get into college? Yes, that's very good. Let's look at the math score. It's got a 17 in math. So is that good enough to get into college? Not without taking a developmental course, for sure. So what this person wants to do is they want to retake a section of the ACT when they offer the super score sections. What part are they going to retake? There you go. Math. All right, so that's your transcript. You can have this one. You can have access to this anytime you want it, but you can have the one that you have on your desk now. All right, let's do some scheduling. First of all, I want you to put your name on here in case we find it on the floor, we can fuss at you. Put your first and last name. Then I want you to circle your diploma track. Most of you are going to circle University Diploma Track. If you know that you're in Jumpstart, circle Jumpstart. But if you don't know, you would know if you were in Jumpstart because your parents had to come sign papers for it and you had to sign papers. And if you haven't done that, then you're not in Jumpstart yet. All right, the first thing I want you to choose is your English. If you are in regular English 2 right now, then you can choose English 3, regular English 3. That's the first one. If you are in English 2 honors, you need to choose English 3 AP. And if you're in English 2 gifted, only if you're in gifted now, can you choose English 3 gifted. Now, if you're in English 2 and you know you're in Jumpstart, then you're going to choose Business English. All right, let's look at your math. If you are in geometry right now, then you're going to go to Algebra 2 or Algebra 2 Honors. If you're in geometry or geometry honors, you'll go to Algebra 2 or Algebra 2 Honors. If you're in geometry and Algebra 2 right now, then you're going to go to Advanced Math Pre-Calculus. That's just regular advanced math. If you're really good in math, and if you're in 2 of them, you probably are, you might need to go to the pre-calculus dual enrollment class. So you would check that one. And if you are in Jumpstart, you know you're in Jumpstart, you would go to business math next year. All right, so everybody's got an English and a math marked, right? All right, for your science, right now, a lot of you are in biology. So you are going to check either Chemistry 1 or Chemistry 1 honors. If you're in biology right now, you're going to do Chemistry 1 or Chemistry 1 honors. If you are in chemistry right now, then you are going to check either Chemistry 2 or Chemistry 2 AP, or Biology 2, Biology 2 AP, or Physics, or Environmental Science, or Environmental Science AP. Now, if you're going into the chemical engineering and that kind of stuff, I strongly recommend chemistry, Chemistry 2. And take physics. If you're going to LSU, you make sure you take physics your senior year. If you're going into the medical field, I strongly recommend Biology 2, AP. If you're just trying to get education, criminal justice, something like that, you're not doing either of those, I recommend environmental science or environmental science AP. All right. Hopefully, you are all finishing up your PE credits this year. So you really won't need a PE next year if you already have 1.5 credits of PE. Look at your transcript and make sure you have 1.5 credits. Now, some of you are doing team sports, so you can put a check by the team sports, and what happens is you can click team sports, but the coaches send us list of who's on the teams before we actually put you in the regular team sports. But if they're not on there, then we put you in regular PE. So you can put the team sports so we know that you're interested. All right, now for your foreign languages. Hopefully some of you have finished them. In 8th grade you took 1, in 9th grade you took 2. But a lot of you are in Spanish 1 right now, so you're going to put Spanish 2. Now, if you haven't had a foreign language yet, you need to put Spanish 1 for next year, and then you'll take Spanish 2 your senior year. And this is if you're in the TOPS University pathway. All right, then you also need an art credit for TOPS. So if you've already taken art like your freshman year, then you've taken care of your art credit. If you're in band and you want to continue in band, this is where you need to check off the band credit. And that'll take care of your art. All right. Only if you're in study skills now can you check off basic study skills 3. So that's the only way you can do that, is if you are in it now. For the remaining courses, you're going to choose credits to fill up 7 periods per day. You have to choose 7 classes, and then you must choose 3 alternate electives when you're doing your online scheduling. Because if there's something that we just couldn't get you in, we have to have something else that we can put you in that you wouldn't just absolutely die because you got put in that. All right, so this is your tentative schedule that you're going to take home and use when you're scheduling online. If you have any questions, email me or come to the guidance office and fill out our green paper, but it's easier to email me and put scheduling question in the box, and I will get right back to you. All right, the next thing I want you to do is look at your IGP. This is a paper that you've had since you were a freshman, hopefully, and you have to fill it out. You should have it already filled out for your 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade year, and you need to fill out your junior year, not your senior year, just your junior year of what you want to take for next year. So this is what you'll do. You'll put your English 3, Algebra 2, or whatever you're taking next year. You're going to put it in this column. And then You're going to go to the back of it and you'll see signatures down at the bottom. Your parents and you need to sign 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. They need to sign that. If they hadn't already done it, they need to sign all the way up to your junior year, not your senior year. All right, this paper you have in your information. This is how you do your online scheduling. It tells you exactly step by step what to do. When you get home, you can fill in your schedule for next year. Go ahead and do it now. I can tell you this, you have to have this in by February 5th. If you don't, then we're going to make your own schedule for you. So make sure you go home, and you have until February 5th to talk to your friends or whatever, but y'all don't do it just because your friend is doing it. Do what's best for you. These instructions tell you exactly how to do your online scheduling when you get home. After you put in your schedule, you're going to submit it, and then you are going to print out a paper that's on there, and it says that on here, and you're going to get your parents to sign it, and you're going to sign it, and then you're going to turn that in to your English teacher, and she's going to turn it in to me. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can email me at trudy.durnan@lpsb.org. That's Trudy, TRUDY, .Durnan, DURNIN, @lpsb.org. I hope you've learned a lot because I've enjoyed sharing it with you. If you have questions, email me, and good luck. I'll see you next year.